I'm 100% unemployable. I'm very pleased about that. I always knew that I'd end up as an entrepreneur, a business owner, and I never wanted to remain in employment and being told what to do for the rest of my life. In today's video, I'm going to discuss all of the big problems that I saw in the workplace, which I refused to be a part of, which gave me even more of a fire and a drive to escape the matrix, the rat race, the trap, as quickly as I could to pursue my own purpose and fulfillment in life. As adults, we all have two options. All of you right now watching this have the same options, as I did as well. You can be assigned a life where you're told what to do, you're told how much you're going to earn, you're told where you're going to work, who with, when you start, when you leave, when you can go on holiday. If a family member dies, you'll have to ask for permission just to go to the funeral. Everything will be given to you and you will be told what to do, and there is no security. You are at the mercy of your master, the employer, and you are a number. You are disposable at any point. Or, on the flip side, which is the route that I chose, you design a life. You become the 1%. 99% of the population cannot do what it takes to fall into the 1% category of designing your own life and doing everything that's necessary. The sacrifices, the discipline, the working weekends for years, the staying up late, getting up early, putting in the work that the average person is not willing to do. I was prepared to do all of that and more because of the following reasons. I found it odd, employment. I found it almost, looking from the outside in, it was like looking into a zoo with a lot going on, a lot of noise and a lot of immaturity, and there was just a lot going on which I didn't like. Workplace politics, the gossiping, and it truly was like looking through the cage into a zoo. There's all these different personalities and characters and playing different roles and, you know, poker faces, and it's not for me. I like to be authentic and transparent, and you can do that in entrepreneurship. You can really be yourself. And number one is like titles. There are too many people in the workplace that get attached, overinvested, chase for titles. Manager, general manager, regional manager, director, area manager, whatever it is, operations manager. That there satisfies a lot of people because then they can tell other people what they are. I'm a manager and I have 40 people under me and I've got a lot of power. It's quite sad, really. And how much do you earn as a manager? 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 grand? To be on call all the time, the stress, the anxiety, the depression that managers get. There's far more anxiety and depression in the corporate world than there is in entrepreneurship. I can tell you that firsthand. I'm around a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs. A lot of them are very happy, content and satisfied and living a very wealthy and successful life. I know many people who have lost all of their hair and employment. They're bullied, they're depressed, they're harassed, they're micromanaged, they're stressed out, they're arguing with their family, they have money worries. That's the truth of it. I'm just not beating around the bush. People love titles and then it becomes egotistic, a little bit narcissistic. People like to crack the whip. They like to tell other people that they have control over what they would consider their minions. I witnessed all of this and it's embarrassing. There's no dignity. There's no, there's nothing really to be proud of. So I didn't want to be a part of it. And I saw the way people would talk to other people. There was barely any leadership in my last workplace. There was a lot of power hungry managers, but there was no leadership. No one was leading from the front. No one was inspiring their teams. No one was really showing true compassion and empathy and an understanding for people being human beings opposed to being a metric and a number. And I think that's the other thing I've just always realised. If you are employed, you're a number. You could have had 4 or 5 promotions. You could have been brown nosing and chasing a promotion for 18 months and been, you know, the manager's pet. It makes no difference. You are a number. They can get rid of you tomorrow and your job will be replaced in 72 hours. And it's amazed me that so many people overinvest into their job, predominantly because they need the money. And I really have to emphasize, they need the money. What a dangerous place to be in if you need the money, that you are willing to lose yourself as a human being. And I've seen this many times, that you will do anything. You will brown nose, you will become a beta, you will become a sheep to the shepherd. You will do exactly as you are told as a fully grown adult that has a family at home perhaps, who thinks you're this provider, but yet when you're in the workplace, you're just a beta. I was never willing to do that. I was never willing to sit around the workplace meetings. And when it got to me, and Aaron, have you got anything to say, that I would just cower away and, and sort of wince and, not say anything. No, fuck that. I got my money right and I was able to speak my mind. And in the corporate world, I was considered a problem because I had a mind, because I spoke up, because I went against what was wrong. There's no control in employment. I didn't like that. You have no control. Who you work with, when you can go on your break, when you can take holiday. There's no control at all. In entrepreneurship and business, you have full control. And that comes with a level of responsibility, which is ironic, really, because I would always hear people going, I want to go for a promotion because I want that bit of extra responsibility. That's fake responsibility. You getting an extra couple of tasks in your contract, and maybe you've got another 5 people to oversee and lead and manage. That's not responsibility. Go start a business. That's real responsibility. That's accountability right there. Not getting a promotion and being paid an extra $7,000 a year. There's no responsibility in that. You're just on a puppet string. You're just having your carrot dangled a little bit further away, so you keep chasing and climbing that corporate ladder, which is just a trap. Brown noses. My God, I saw many of them. Brown noses used to do my nut. Fully grown adults. Big girls, big guys, either one, brown nosing other managers. Sometimes you would see an older guy, for me personally, I'd see an older guy, 6'2", big and burly, brown nosing like a 22-year-old graduate manager who's had no experience. They're not being trained, they're not being overseen. They shouldn't have passed their probation period in the first place, but they've been given this manager's job. And then you've got some 6'2", big burly guy who needs his salary, so he's willing to brown nose the little graduate squirt. I've seen it all, and it was embarrassing. And there's no dignity. Now, don't get me wrong, let me caveat this. There are some wicked companies who are on the rise now, and a lot of them are my friends as well, who've started these wicked companies that have these incredible cultures: fair, compassion, empathy, looking after the people before the numbers. People should come first before metrics, by the way. So there are some incredible companies, but there are some very deeply rooted old school corporate companies, big powerhouses that just have these awful management structure that constantly is hiring other bad managers. There's no leaders. So the brown noses were the worst. They're betas in my eyes. There's no alpha about it. There's nothing alpha about it. It's becoming a beta. And it always made me laugh because I thought, I wonder if these people go home who have been brown nosing all day for a promotion. I wonder if they go home to their partners and, if their partners say, how did you get on at work? Yeah, I was a provider. I wonder what your wife or your husband would think if they could have seen you at work brown nosing. Probably wouldn't think that much of you. Backstabbing, that always went on. The office politics, the gossiping, the backstabbing, thinking that you can trust your co-workers. You can't trust your co-workers. That's the God's honest truth. I'm just being very honest in this video. It almost disgusts me when I hear people say, I love my work colleagues. Really? Have you got nothing else going on in your life that you would actually turn around and say you love your work colleagues? Really? You don't love your work colleagues. Like, love your family. You need more going on in your life if you ever turn around and say, I love my work colleagues. The backstabbing is unreal. One co-worker goes through a HR investigation, calls upon a witness, which is the other co-worker. The other co-worker doesn't want to know because they don't want to jeopardize their job. They go into survival mode and then they turn against the other co-worker. That's super, super common. Being used and abused. I've seen people become yes men, yes women, where they put their hands up to agree to do everything. They set themselves a very high expectation and they put themselves on this sort of like pedestal that they're at this bar and they can never come back down, which is why I did a video once, always walk slow in the workplace. If you start walking really quick and you do jobs really quick, there is an expectation for you to continue that and meet that standard. It's like if you overperform, you can't underperform then. You have to overperform all the time and keep improving on that. Slow and steady, for me, always wins the race. Maintain a pace. It's a smart way of working, and you become a little bit wiser the longer you've been in it. Knowing you are a number. I think a lot of people are in denial about this. I've heard people say, No, my company really values me. I've had 4 promotions and I've been there 10 years. No, you're a number. They'll get rid of you tomorrow and they'll replace your job in 72 hours. They couldn't give a monkeys that you've had 4 promotions. The CEO doesn't even know your name. That's the truth of it. Unless you're a small family-run company, the CEO does not know your name. I have a friend who's had maybe 5 promotions. It's only in the last 2 years he's had this light bulb moment where he's like, Aaron, everything you've been saying over the last 10 years is true. I'm literally about to be made redundant. And there's no care for me at all. Literally, that's it. My job role gone. I've had all these promotions. I've helped the company make money. I've done all these launches. I've helped them grow. And now I'm out the door. It all counted for nothing. He's got no backup plan. You are a number. I know it's like maybe you've got a little cut and it's like a bit of vinegar dropping on it. But it's the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. But then once you start from the truth and then you take accountability and ownership and you just embrace the truth, you can start taking control of where you go. That's the good thing about entrepreneurship, is everything's 100% accountability for where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going. Revenue is delivered on results. You're not paid a salary. You are paid on your results as an entrepreneur, and that comes with a level of pressure and responsibility. The final one really is all the gossiping and the actual poker, the politics, the political game of poker, as I call it, constantly having to be a different person. I didn't do that, by the way, but seeing people mold and change faces depending on who they're around. And you've got to be very careful of the person who is friendly with everyone, because they're friends of no one. They're like chameleons. They'll adapt to everyone because they want to stay in the pockets of everyone. And there are many of those types of people in the workplace. I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to be a part of the clique. I didn't want to go on the works dues. I'm not bothered about that. I fully understood. I am here to earn money. This is a stepping stone for me to build my own business, which I can implement changes which I do not like in my current workplace, but I can change them in my own business if I make that jump. And lastly, I fall back on, as an adult, you have 2 options. You design your own life. You position yourself in a market. Or you will be assigned a lifestyle until you die, and the market will position you. I will never, ever let my financial future and my family's future, I will never rely on an employer to set me up for life. I have to take control for my pension, my financial future. I never want to escape reality. I want to build a lifestyle, and I am doing that now, and I've already kind of done it. Build a lifestyle that I never have to run away from. So when I book a holiday, I'm not escaping my life. I'm booking a holiday because I want to book a holiday. But I come back to something I love and I enjoy Monday to Monday. How many times have you heard it? I've heard it many times where people in the workplace will say, I cannot wait to get on holiday. And in the last couple of days on holiday, they're like, oh my God, I've got to go back. And then they complain to other co-workers when they're back. Is this not obvious? What side is greener? You know, that the grass is green where you water it, yes, but for me, there's been no other option than entrepreneurship and business. I have full control of my entire life, which gives me contentment, fulfillment, and purpose. If we hop over finally into the employed world, no control, a lack of direction in where you go, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, and then there's a lot of midlife crisis, which leads to bitterness, regret, and some real downfall when it comes to mental health issues. That's the truth. If you could relate to any of this, do let me know in the comments below. Or even if you didn't agree, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be running this sort of raw series more and more now, where I'm going to be talking about different topics. If you have a suggestion of a topic you want me to talk about more in this kind of chilled, relaxed sort of environment where I'm just sort of naturally talking, very uncut, do let me know in the comments and I'll consider it as a video. And until next time, please do like, subscribe, all that good stuff, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next video.